Philosophy. What new insight has philosophy firmly established within society? A unified view. What does the conceptual framework of philosophy have to offer us? Philosophy has two important aims. First, it tries to give people a unified view of the universe in which they live. Second, it seeks to make people more critical thinkers by sharpening their ability to think clearly and precisely. World Book Encyclopedia, page 345. Let's begin by discussing the first aim of philosophy. First, it tries to give people a unified view of the universe in which they live. Philosophy has shrunk from this aspect of its responsibility. Philosophy has become so entrenched in the concept that we cannot know quote-unquote truth that it has refused to tackle the problem of finding truths, plural. We may not be able to know truths, but we certainly can develop what we perceive truths to be based upon our intuitions and faiths, religion, spirituality, our observations and experiences, science, and our logic and reason, or philosophy. Also known as worldview. If we attempt to establish the truths based upon only one of these three means of developing perceptions, then we develop a truth favoring one of the three, religion, science, or philosophy. And therefore we become biased against one or the other. It need not be so. This type of truth is immediately rejected by the other two on the basis of bias. Since our perceptions are based upon how we incorporate all three fields, any truths must be able to be incorporated within the scope of all three. As for the second aim, it seeks to make people more critical thinkers by sharpening their ability to think clearly and precisely. This also is the responsibility of philosophy in general. Philosophy has the responsibility to develop a unified view, a universal philosophy, so airtight that no responsible person could refute the concept based upon any reasonable argument, be it from religion, science, or philosophy, in their compartmentalized, fragmented views. A unified view, a universal philosophy, has to be so basic, so fundamental to the general layman, that it cannot be refuted through any use of common reason. To develop a unified view and to make people better critical thinkers is the responsibility of philosophy. For philosophy incorporates reason. Without reason, all three, philosophy, science, and religion, and spirituality, fall apart. Therefore, the concept of a unified view must begin with reason and fuse itself with universal religious concepts or truths and universal scientific concepts. What does the conceptual framework of philosophy imply about the universe in which we live? Philosophy becomes a means by which we gain the broadest possible picture of ourselves and our environment, both on a microscopic and macroscopic basis. the big picture. Philosophy, by its very purpose, implies an outside as well as an inside to our universe. Philosophy is the attempt to understand the function of the universe in terms of what lies within it and what lies outside it. By doing so, it leads us to an understanding of what we may be, what our function is within the universe, as well as to what lies outside the universe. This process is accomplished through an attempt to establish a unified view of the universe. Many great thinkers have left their mark upon the field of philosophy over the last 3,000 years. But just as surely as they have left their mark, they have left their doubts about the ability of philosophy to accomplish its task of developing a unified view of the universe. This is not a negative statement, rather it is a statement of growth. For just as a human grows through self-examination, so do specialty fields of knowledge. Knowledge we gain as a species is nothing more than perceptions we gain based upon our efforts as individuals to understand what it is we perceive through faith, observations, and reason. It is no wonder that our basic fields of study go through similar stages of development as their architects. There is little doubt that humans are the most soul-searching life form on the planet. Since humans are the engineers of their own fields of study, it only follows that philosophy would go through much soul-searching in its terms of its ability to accomplish its own function. But eventually one has to stop searching and to go on with life. And so it is with philosophy. Self-doubt, soul-searching, hesitation, fear of failure, whatever excuse one wishes to place upon the lack of success of philosophy to accomplish its goal, the fact still remains that philosophy has not developed a unified view of the universe. Much of philosophy, modern philosophy, is anti-religion, and this poses a problem. It is time for philosophy to stop worrying about being condemned to hell by religions and being ridiculed by science. It is time for philosophy to have faith in itself and use what it has observed as being successful for science. It is time to build a model of a unified view of the universe. The mere fact that we perceive the universe exists should be enough for philosophy to understand it can be modeled.